You can.
Officials, go ahead. You go ahead and you can pause.
All right. All right, starting off, coming in at 18 feet, we have Alligator. Next up, number 120, Battle Frog. 3 a.m., it's Booty Collins. L5 is Brokeback Jack. 796 is Conan the Librarian. Number 6x9, Girl Friday. Oi, it's Good Riddance. Number 86, Guacamole. Number I4I, Hammer Abbey. 1905 is KY Julie. L22 is Lunatrick. Followed up by number 15, Mac the Knife. Next is 918, Pied Typer. Next is B52, Sequin Destroyer. Followed up by 313 rather, Slayhound. Number 906, Super Youper. Number 350 is Susie Homewrecker. And number 7 is Wendy You Wanna Die. They are supported from the bench by La Biblioreca, Kate Silver, and Dame Judy Bench. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2015 Quad Squad!
Challenging the Quad Squad in tonight's bout, we want to welcome your 2015 Unholy Rollers. Taking the track in gold and red. For the Unholy Rollers, we've got number 10, Abby Negative. 800M, Bada Boombox. 65, Blanche Devereaux. B222, Bumble Beatdown. 247, Dive Hard. B1T, Fang Dangled. Number 314, Gertrude Awakening. 1618, Goldie Mean. Number 8, Hannah Cuffs. 847, Hello Sailor. 73, BC, I Am Spazicus. D4, Magic Missile. 131, Molly Tov. 48 UM, Micro Mauler. Number V5, Scarlet Osneria. 987, Splatter Alice. Number 22, Tango de Muerte. C7, The Manipulator. Number 13, Twisted Halo. And number 27, Wild Berry Punch. Helping out on the track, we've got El Machete, Rita Slayworth, and Shrimp Trampy. Your Unholy Rollers.
We would also like to give some quick love to our officials for tonight's bout. We have Zdork, Reaver, Eddie, Johnny Zebra, Thaco, Irma, Polly, and Bjorn, and our non-skating officials, Unomas, Modus Pons, Misinformed, Keister Bunny, Diaphragm, Brazzle, Death Knell, Macromaniac, Squeaky, Shownuff, Jezebel, Chaotic Neutral, Mr. Welch, Roadblock, and Unomas.
And we're ready to get right into the action. We've got D4 Magic Missile up against B52. Sequin Destroy Her.
All that's left is to wait for that whistle.
And while we're waiting, let's do a shout out here. Happy birthday, Jan, from the Mills family. Shall we sing? Mills family, you can sing happy birthday to Jan. Thank you for coming out tonight. We want to also thank the Blaze Women's Football. They're here tonight. Madison Blaze Women's Football coming up next Saturday. You can bowl for the Blaze at Village Lanes in Monona. Come on down, and there will be prizes and raffles. Don't miss out. Come on down to Village Lanes and support Madison Blaze Women's Football. You'll hear us talking about the Jammer Line sponsor, Plan B, the Penalty Box sponsor, Monkey Bar Gym, the official Triple M 2-Minute Promise official timeout, and the WORT Star Pass, as well as the Minia Madison Grand Slam. Minia Madison is here as well. Please look at their table. I believe they've got a raffle going on and some fun stuff there. Minia Madison located over across from the merchandise table. And we're off.
Yep, the action has begun. It looks like Sequin Destroyer is taking lead jam for the Quad Squad, with Magic Missile heading to the penalty box for what looks like a track cut. So this is now a power jam in the first jam for the Quad Squad.
Sequin Destroy Her coming up on the Unholy Rollers. She's fallen into the pack but gets right back up. She's the lead jammer, and she just scored a Minia Madison Grand Slam for the Quad Squad.
Wow, and just like that, the Unholies are down to 2 blockers on the track, with their jammer and 2 more blockers waiting in the penalty box. Wow, good.
Lots can happen in that first jam. In that one jam, we've seen 2 Unholy Rollers, 3 actually, head to the penalty box. Sequin Destroy Her get Grand Slam for the Quad Squad, and we're starting out with Quad Squad at 5, Unholy Rollers still at 0.
Looks like the Unholy Jammer did get out of the penalty box just in time, so they are able to field Fang Dangled as their jammer for this jam.
Looks like she'll be going up against Mac the Knife. Mac the Knife used to play for the Unholy Rollers. Now playing for the Quad Squad, she just makes her way right through there, and she is lead jammer for the Quad Squad. I see Mac donning a little bow tie there in the color of red, maybe for her previous team. She gets through again, scoring 4 points for the Quad Squad, calling that jam off to bring their lead to 10 points. Unholy Rollers still scoreless in the first couple minutes of this period.
Looks like we are going to have a Triple M 2-Minute Promise official timeout here.
WMMM 105.5 Triple M with the 2-Minute Promise, programmed locally in Madison for Madison. Thank you to Triple M for being one of our sponsors. We'd also like to give a shout out to some of our other sponsors. WORT, Back Porch Radio in Madison. Tune in any time of the day or night to hear great alternative music, news, and public affairs programming. Also, WSUM 91.7 Madison Student Radio, the Snake on the Lake. That's all for our radio sponsors. We've also got some other great sponsors for Roller Derby, and we want to thank the High Noon Saloon, voted Madison's favorite live music venue and Madison's favorite place for karaoke. Another sponsor we'd like to thank for their support is Hometown Pilates, fitness the way nature intended, corrective exercise for peak performance. And I believe Hometown Pilates is in Verona, Wisconsin. A few of the Dairyland Dolls, as well as other members of all of the home teams, practice there in getting their Pilates and their form correct.
Sounds like the issue with, I believe it was the scoreboard, was resolved, and we are back to the action here with Allie Gator jamming for the quad squad.
She's up against Gertrude Awakening, jamming for the Unholy Rollers. Both jammers trying to fight their way through the pack. Allie Gator comes out with lead jam for the quad squad.
Wow, and it looks like Gertrude Awakening is beset on all sides by nothing but green.
She's got a green wall, a sequin destroy her, and a couple of the rookies, Girl Friday and Pied Typer, holding her up.
Yeah, doing a great job of playing offense and defense there, keeping the opposing jammer back while allowing Allie Gator to get through and score them sweet, sweet points with a Mini of Madison Grand Slam.
That's 5 points for the quad squad. Allie Gator looks like she called that jam off before Gertrude Awakening could score any points for the Unholy Rollers. We do have an Unholy Roller in the penalty box. It looks like we've got Splatter Alice gone to the penalty box, and Pied Typer of the quad squad also there in the penalty box, serving some time in our Monkey Bar Gym penalty box. We'd like to thank Monkey Bar Gym for being a sponsor. Monkey Bar Gym, where Derby girls work out to be strong enough for Derby.
We do have another official timeout here. It's like working out a little bit of a problem with the scoreboard. We'll be getting things back underway shortly.
This gives us a moment to remind you the after party tonight is at the VFW, Veterans of Foreign Wars Post, 1318, right there on 133 Lakeside Street. Right down the road. So come and join us after the bout for the after party. Also, thank you to Ian's Pizza. Ian's Pizza, 2 downtown locations offering carryout and delivery. Salad, pizza, vegan, and gluten-free options. www.ianspizza.com. Here to help, one slice at a time. Thank you, Ian's Pizza, for helping the Dolls tonight with a Feed the Dolls sponsor. And that whistle signifies we're going to be getting back to the action.
Yeah. Looks like the technical difficulties have been resolved. We'll have Magic Missile jamming for the Unholy Rollers. And it looks like KY Julie up for the quad squad.
Ooh, KY Julie with a little magic turnaround stop right on that inside line, getting through. And she's your lead jammer right off that Plan B jammer line for the quad squad.
And it looks like Magic Missile ended up picking up a penalty. I didn't quite catch which one, but she is now in the penalty box, in the Monkey Bar Gym penalty box.
That leaves KY Julie with a power jam for the quad squad.
Power jam.
Quad squad blockers running up to kind of help KY Julie out there. She did get caught up in a back block, I believe, and sent to the penalty box.
Yep. Now, of course, since we do not want to have a jammerless jam, once we had Magic Missile here in the penalty box, once KY Julie entered it, that let Magic Missile get free. So now KY Julie just needs to spend the amount of time that Magic Missile spent in the penalty box, not the full 30 seconds.
I think she's probably pretty close to the 30 seconds because it looked like Missile was standing when she got there. But Magic Missile now around through the pack. Not lead jam, but now on her scoring jam, she gets a Mini of Madison Grand Slam for the Unholy Rollers. KY Julie back from the penalty box on the track, but no longer able to be lead jam and call off that jam. She can still, however, score points for the quad squad. While I was talking, it looks like Magic Missile snuck her way back through for another Mini of Madison Grand Slam, bringing the Unholy Rollers total to 10 points.
Yep, she has just been juking her way through that pack, finding those openings, sneaking through.
Streaking through like a missile. KY Julie trying to slip ahead of her into the pack there.
Well, looks like the jam clock has run out, so that jam ends.
No score on either the Unholy Rollers or the Quad Squad's last attempt through the pack there. That leaves the Unholy Rollers with 14 points to the Quad Squad's 28 points.
Well, looks like for this jam, we'll have a timeout before it starts. If I'm not mistaken, this is another official timeout.
Another
yes,
Triple M official timeout. A few more this bout than last bout, giving us time to thank our sponsors once again. And we want to thank Just Coffee, bike delivered, fair trade organic coffee, roasted in Madison. Justice from the grounds up. Thank you, Just Coffee. Thank you goes out to Mad City Music for being one of our sponsors. Madison's best selection of new and used vinyls. New releases and hard-to-find titles, low prices on the best music. Madison's best selection, Mad City Music.
Also give a shout out to Malat's Pharmacy. Malat's has locations in Madison's east and west side and new locations in Lodi and Wanakee. They have costumes, wigs, and they have theater makeup as well. They are also a ticket outlet for us. So if you're there checking out some of their costumes or their makeup or any of the other fun things they've got down there, you could spend $12 to get an advance ticket to our next bout on March 21st.
I found Malat's Pharmacy to be a nice place to get a great wig if you need a wig for your Dolly Parton costume and any others that are out there, but great place to get costumes and wigs. Whistle signaling the end of that official Triple M 2-minute promise timeout. And back on the line now on the Plan B Jammer line, we've got Susie Homewrecker jamming for the Quad Squad up against Fang Dangled of the Unholy Rollers.
Looks like Fang Dangled picked up a penalty just off the line there and got sent to the penalty box. So this will be a power jam for the Quad Squad.
Susie Homewrecker trying to make her way past Blanche Devereaux and Molly Tov, who are coming up from the pack, trying to knock her to the outside. She makes her way through, and she's your lead jammer for the Quad Squad.
Looked like she was trying to get around the outside there, but being kept back by the likes of Hannah Cuffs and Blanche Devereaux.
Allie Gator coming up to play a little bit of offense for her teammate, getting back to the pack to play some defense as Fang Dangled gets back in onto the track for the Unholy Rollers out of the penalty box.
Looks like Molly Tov knocked Susie Homewrecker out just before no pack was called. Managed to cycle her all the way back to the back.
Both teams, Unholy Rollers and Quad Squad, up against the opposing jammer, really working to knock them out and bring them back. It looks like Fang Dangled gets out of the pack, but she is still not lead jam. Susie Homewrecker calling off that jam. Brings the Quad Squad to 32 points against the Unholy Rollers, 14.
It's like lining up here on the Plan B Jammer line. We have Gertrude Awakening jamming for the Unholy Rollers.
She's going to go up against Mac the Knife from the Quad Squad.
Both jammers starting off. Looks like Gertrude Awakening is battling up against Battle Frog, When Do You Wanna Die? And I believe that is Slayhound.
That's right, joined by Conan the Librarian in the pack for the Quad Squad.
Now Mac the Knife sprinting ahead, breaking out, getting lead jam for the Quad Squad. However, Gertrude Awakening is hot on her heels.
Unholy Rollers blockers, Twisted Halo, Goldie Mean, Micro Muller, and Bada Boombox making their way to the front of the pack, but it looks like the jam was called off. 2 points for the Quad Squad.
That does bring our total to Quad Squad 34 points, Unholy Rollers 14, with about 22 minutes left in this first half.
We want to thank the Malt House, another great sponsor of the Mad Rollin' Dolls, Madison's Craft Beer Oasis. Thanks also to Nutsy Mutts and Crazy Cats. The best place to shop for your dog, cat, or chickens. Whether you're looking for food, fun, or fashion, that's the place. 2 locations on Lakeside and Midvale.
Back to the action here. It looks like Sequin Destroy Her was about to take lead jam, but I think she pulled up a
Cutting
track
penalty.
cut penalty.
Yep.
So that leaves Magic Missile as the lead jam for the Unholy Rollers in a power jam.
Magic Missile going up against Alligator and Booty Collins in the front of the pack. She gets past them, but might not have scored all her points there that she could have, I think.
Yeah, looks like she only got the 4, not quite the full 5 for that Grand Slam.
Fighting her way up again, looks like Alligator took her to the outside, made her go back around, just as Sequin Destroy Her, the Quad Squad jammer, makes her way back onto the track from the penalty box. And she's sent off again for a back block. So Sequin Destroy Her, second trip to the penalty box this jam, leaving Magic Missile of the Unholy Rollers on another Power Jam 30-second pass to see what points she can get. Getting through that time, we've got Magic Missile with a Minia Madison Grand Slam for 5 points.
That Quad Squad blocking team is definitely doing their job, making things very difficult for Magic Missile there.
Very difficult indeed. Looks like the Unholy Rollers are sending up a few offensive blockers to kind of help Missile through that pack. Booty Collins trying to recycle Missile to the back of the pack while her jammer gets in from the box. Magic Missile scoring another Grand Slam. Minia Madison Grand Slam. That brings the Unholy Rollers up to 28 points. Quad Squad at 34. Close game, only 6 points apart.
Well, we'll see how the rest of the bout takes us. For now, I do have a shout out. I love you, Blanche, from Hayden.
Thank you, Hayden. One of the Vixens fans and a big fan of the Unholy Rollers, as well as a fan of Blanche Devereaux. Speaking of the Unholy Rollers, we've got Fang Dangled out of the pack for lead jammer. She's jamming for the Unholy Rollers up against Girl Friday of the Quad Squad. Girl Friday trying to fight through the Unholy Rollers blockers. Micro Mauler trying to hold her at the end. And it looks like the referees are calling Girl Friday off the track for a penalty. She may have cut the track back there. Fang Dangled, the lead jammer, calling off the jam. Bringing the score to 2 points. 2-point difference. Unholy Rollers at 32. Quad Squad leading with 34.
Yep. Certainly anybody's game at this point. Looks like the Quad Squad will be starting without their jammer as Girl Friday is still serving her time in the penalty box. That means that Gertrude Awakening will be jamming for the Unholy Rollers, starting off in a power jam.
Gertrude Awakening making her way through that pack, but she is called off of the track with a cutting the track penalty. She will join Girl Friday there, replace Girl Friday actually, take a seat in the Monkey Bar Gym penalty box, while Girl Friday of the Quad Squad goes back onto the track to try and jam her way through.
So you can tell the track is very slippery tonight. It's always kind of rough playing on polished concrete like this, and we try to mitigate that by adding some resin down to the track, but you still see a lot of the skaters kind of slipping and sliding a lot out there.
Yeah, you'll see what looks like that white chalk is the rosin that is on the track, but it's still hard going around those turns, especially pretty fast. Speaking of fast, we've got Gertrude Awakening speeding in from the penalty box, making her way through the pack. That's just her lead pass, though, so she doesn't get any points. But it looks like the Quad Squad jammer, Girl Friday, has been sent to the box. So Gertrude Awakening has a chance here to score some points for the Unholy Rollers. She gets 4 points on that pass.
Looks like we have both Guacamole and Molly Taub heading to the penalty box.
One from each team, both with Molly in their name. Meanwhile, Girl Friday getting through the pack as she makes her way out of the penalty box. Another 4 points for the Quad Squad. And another 4 points for the Unholy Rollers. Looks like another score change. Unholy Rollers just bringing it back. Oh, a nice hit by Blanche Devereaux, but it looks like it sends her to the penalty box. No points scored on that last pass for either the Quad Squad or the Unholy Rollers. The Unholy Rollers have taken the lead with 40 points. Quad Squad at 38.
We already have them. Just a quick reminder, we have only about 15 minutes to buy more raffle tickets for the Reach a Child raffle for the 50-50. So please either find a skater who's going around selling those tickets or head on over to their booth for a chance to win.
And on the track, we've got Mac the Knife jamming for the Quad Squad again up against Magic Missile for the Unholy Rollers. Both jammers have been on the track for their teams before. Both jammers fighting their way through, trying to get there. Mac the Knife gets lead jammer, gets through and calls that jam off with 4 points for the Quad Squad, bringing their lead now to 42 points to the Unholy Rollers, 40. Another lead change for those of you taking note, taking a drink, cheering for the team in the lead. Get your raffle tickets for the 50-50 raffle. You're going to win half of the money raised for Reach a Child. Check out their booth for the next couple minutes before the period ends. We will be announcing that raffle during halftime of this game.
Getting back to the action here, we've got Fang Dangle jamming for the Unholy Rollers with Little Susie Homewrecker jamming for the Quad Squad.
Little Susie Homewrecker making her way up and around the Unholy Rollers blockers, and she is your lead jammer for the Quad Squad.
Looks like Fang Dangle was dancing around with Sequin Destroy her a bit there, but did manage to make it by. However, the jam will be called off before she can come around to start doing her scoring pass.
Score remains Quad Squad 42, Unholy Rollers 40. And we've got a couple shout-outs here. Shout out to the UW Whitewater faculty, staff, and friends. Shout out to you, UW Whitewater. A Quad Squad shout out here. Lil Misbehavin', come back. Hammer Abbey, you rock.
The jam has resumed here. We've got, looks like Gertrude Awakening has taken lead jam for the Unholy Rollers. And we've got KY Julie back there jamming for the Quad Squad. She is actually on her way to the penalty box. Looks like she has picked herself up a track cut penalty.
Gertrude Awakening getting lead jam for the Unholy Rollers. Scoring 4 points on her pass through the pack that time. And we've got Conan the Librarian headed to the penalty box for the Quad Squad. Quad Squad blockers trying to knock and slow down Gertrude Awakening. She makes her way through for a Minia Madison Grand Slam and 5 more points for the Unholy Rollers.
It's like KY Julie has been released from the penalty box. Working her way up against Bada Boom Box, among other Unholy blockers.
Bada Boom Box, Micro Mauler, and Scarlett Osneria were ready for her as she got onto the track, but she makes her way through there. Getting through, Gertrude Awakening coming up on the inside. She calls off the jam, but not before scoring more points for the Unholy Rollers.
That was a very slick little apex jump she pulled off at the end of that jam. She has, now that does bring our score to Unholy Rollers 58, Quad Squad 47, with about 12 minutes left in the half.
KY Julie scoring 3 points for the Quad Squad in that last point-scoring pass there. Keeping it close. On the Plan B jammer line, lining up for the Quad Squad, we've got Booty Collins jamming up against Blanche Devereaux from the Unholy Rollers. Quad Squad recycling Blanche Devereaux to the back of the pack by knocking her to the outside and skating backwards. Meanwhile, it looks like Unholy Rollers blockers trying to keep Booty Collins back in front, but she makes her way out. Booty Collins, lead jammer for the Quad Squad.
Looks like Blanche Devereaux has made her way out of the pack as well. Going to work on making her scoring pass.
Booty Collins making her way up, scoring a couple points for the Quad Squad and calling it off before Blanche Devereaux has a chance to score any points. Quad Squad making their points come up back to 50 now, up against the Unholy Rollers 58. And on the jammer line, we've got little Susie Homewrecker skating for the Quad Squad, up against Fang Dangled for the Unholy Rollers.
All right, things starting off. Like little Susie Homewrecker trying to get around the outside, but gets knocked out by number 13, Twisted Halo. Gets recycled to the back of the pack. Meanwhile, looks like Fang Dangled working against the Quad Squad blockers at the front of the pack, but she breaks through, taking lead jam for the Unholy Rollers.
Susie Homewrecker still trying to get through up against the likes of Goldie Mean, Twisted Halo, Micro Mauler, and Scarlet Osneria. Quad Squad blockers, Battle Frog, KY Julie, Slayhound, and Guacamole trying to slow down Fang Dangled. Both jammers kind of finding it hard to get through this pack, but Fang Dangled makes her way around the outside. She picks up a Minnie Madison Grand Slam and 5 points for the Unholy Rollers.
Looks like there has been a star pass. Susie Homewrecker has passed her star to Quad Squad skater Slayhound.
Guacamole.
Meanwhile, Fang Dangled working against the Quad Squad defense. Can't quite get by, so she calls off the jam as Slayhound is coming around the back.
Looks like the Unholy Rollers 3 points that last pass. Quad Squad 2. Unholy Rollers bring it up to 66 points to the Quad Squad's 52. Still tight game, close points. Anybody can change this within one jam or even part of one jam.
Oh, definitely.
On the jammer line, we've got Magic Missile jamming for the Unholy Rollers and Girl Friday for the Quad Squad. Girl Friday fighting her way up and around up against those Unholy blockers while Magic Missile sneaks by, picking up lead jam for the Unholy Rollers. Wow,
Ooh.
Magic Missile calling off the jam just as one of the Quad Squad blockers, Alligator, tries to knock her to the outside. Until that fourth whistle blows, that jam is on. So it doesn't matter if you look like you're going to call it off. Those blockers are still out to get you.
Yeah.
But Magic Missile looks like she picked up a few points. Unholy Rollers at 69, Quad Squad at 52.
Starting off this jam, we have, looks like, Mac the Knife jamming for the Quad Squad and Gertrude Awakening jamming for the Unholy Rollers.
Mac the Knife up against some of her former teammates there, getting knocked to the outside, but comes right back in and around, tries to get to the inside, but she gets sent off. I think it was a face mask? No, high block maybe?
High block, I believe. That was a high block.
Rich, we got to pick up on our referee calls so we know what's going on here, but it looks like the Unholy Roller Jammer did get in the box as well, so Mac the Knife gets released, and Gertrude Awakening on the track as well.
And it looks like Bada Boombox going to be taking a little trip to the penalty box.
Blockers lining up to try and help their jammer while trying to keep back that opposing jammer. Unholy Rollers with just 2 blockers out there, but Goldie Mean and Scarlet Osneria trying to knock around Mac the Knife. Looks like Mac the Knife is headed back to the penalty box.
Another one of them high blocks, it looks like.
Gertrude Awakening left on the track for a power jam for the Unholy Rollers.
Yeah, we'll see if she and the Unholies can help widen their score gap here.
She's getting a little bit of offense from her Unholy Roller blockers, while those Quad Squad blockers just keep coming up and recycling themselves to the front of the pack to keep her back. I don't see any Jammer Star on any of the Unholy Rollers now. I think that Gertrude Awakening
it looks like
has initiated a star pass.
Yes, I believe that star has been passed to Goldie Mean, who has also picked up a track cut penalty and will be spending 30 seconds in the Monkey R Gym penalty box.
And the jam ends. Mac the Knife gets out on the track again, scoring a few more points for the Quad Squad. Lots of back and forth play. Lots of skaters being sent to the penalty box and back again. Keep it clean. Don't get sent to the Monkey Bar Gym penalty box, skaters. But the Monkey Bar Gym is where Derby girls go to work out to be strong enough for Derby.
Oh, looks like we have another official timeout here.
And while we take that Triple M official 2-minute timeout, why don't we have some shout-outs, Rich?
Oh, I believe we will. Here we have one that says, "Thanks, Mouse. You're so sweet. Love, Papa Mouse and Mama Mouse." No.
Aww. The Mouse family.
A family that derbies together is sturdy together?
Oh, they are. Mouse's family has been out here supporting her, just as all of our friends and families are out supporting us, and we thank you. All right, officials taking a timeout here to discuss penalties. As you may have noticed, lots of girls, as we mentioned, go into that Monkey Bar Gym penalty box. We'll take this moment to give our sponsors a few more props or shout-outs here. American Family Insurance, the Lindacote Insurance Agency of American Family, next to McDonald's on Monona Drive, protecting futures for more than 40 years. Your dream is out there. Go get it. We'll protect it. American Family Insurance.
All right, and our jam has begun. Looks like we have Sequin Destroy Her jamming for the Quad Squad, starting off in a power jam situation, as Goldie Mean is still in the penalty box for the Unholy Rollers.
Sequin Destroy Her is the lead jammer for the Quad Squad. Now she's going up against the pack on her first scoring pass. Quad Squad members just kind of holding back there, letting their jammer make her way up and through the pack. Sequin Destroy Her calling off the jam before Goldie Mean even makes her way through for the first time. Quad Squad, 62. Unholy Rollers, 69. Just 7 points separates this team.
As we are nearing the end of this first half of the second bout, I'd like to talk a little bit about our raffle prizes. We do have a winner for another one of our door prizes. So if you could take a look at your tickets, your admission ticket, and if you have number 1583, then please report down to the merch table because you have won. Again, that is ticket number 1583.
We like to announce those right in the middle of the action.
Yeah, I was hoping to be able to get it before.
You need to multitask to win that bout. And it looks like we've got jamming for the Unholy Rollers, Fang Dangled. She is your lead jammer, and she's calling off that jam after scoring a few points for the Unholy Rollers.
It looks like we are still sitting at a 11 point. Okay, so it's not a still anymore. Now we are at an 11-point spread with the Quad Squad at 62, Unholy's at 73, with 3.5 minutes left in this first half.
And lining up on the Plan B jammer line, we've got Alligator for the Quad Squad up against Magic Missile of the Unholy Rollers. Both jammers take off, and Magic Missile gets out there and through the pack. She is your lead jammer for the Unholy Rollers.
She is followed closely by Alligator for the Quad Squad.
Magic Missile coming around the outside, turning her hips and calling the jam off. But not before she scores 3 more points for the Unholy Rollers, increasing their lead 76 to 62. All right, fans, who's out there cheering on the Quad Squad tonight?
All right, and how about those Unholies fans?
And it looks like the Unholy Rollers have Blanche Devereaux jamming for them this jam up against the Quad Squad jammer, KY Julie. Both jammers still trying to make their way through the pack the first time and determine who is your lead jammer. Neither jammer out of the pack yet.
Well, looks like Blanche Devereaux has made it out, taking lead jam for the Unholy Rollers.
And it looks like we got a couple skaters going to the penalty box. We've got Wendy You Wanna Die heading there with Twisted Halo. Wendy from the Quad Squad, Twisted Halo from the Unholy Rollers. Battle Frog in the penalty box for the Quad Squad as well. And now Bada Boombox from the Unholy Rollers. So we got 2 in the box and 2 on the track. This will be a 2-on-2 jam. And again, for those folks out there, the door prize winner is, get your tickets out, 1583. Winning number is 1583. Pick up your winnings at the merch table.
All right, the action has resumed. We've got Gertrude Awakening jamming for the Unholy Rollers. However, we have Sequin Destroy Her having taken lead jam for the Quad Squad.
Both jammers just a little bit apart from each other. Sequin Destroy Her hits the pack first and turns around, calls off that jam before either team can score any points.
Yeah, especially with the scores being so close, it's very important to make sure that you deny your opponent as many points as you can. So it is not surprising at this point to see all of these zero-scoring jams. It's actually very smart derby. Very smart derby.
That's right. These teams, they train hard, they play hard, but they also think hard. They've got to be thinking about lots of stuff out there on the track. Jammers got to know when to call it off. And it looks like jamming for the Unholy Rollers. We've got Magic Missile as your lead jammer.
Yep. She is followed closely by Mac the Knife, jamming for the Quad Squad.
Missile making her way up and through the pack, but calls it off before Mac can get up and score any points. Looks like Missile scored a couple points there for the Unholy Rollers. Giving them 78 points, excuse me. Quad Squad still at 62.
All right, and that, I believe that brings us to the half.
Wow, that was fast. We're already at halftime, folks. And during this halftime,
Winning number, so please check your tickets. That number is 165397. 165397.
head on over to the Reach a Child booth, pick up your winnings. Congratulations, too. All right, you started off. I got to put you up.
All right, that's all right. All right, so we are getting ready to get back to the action here. Things are resuming. We have Magic Missile up jamming for the Unholy Rollers, and Sequin Destroy Her is up for the Quad Squad. Looks like Magic Missile has come around. She almost had lead jam, but she is being sent to the penalty box. She will get to spend 30 seconds there sitting in the monkey bar gym penalty box thinking about what she has done. Or maybe not for the full seconds, actually. Sequin Destroyer has been sent out on a penalty as well. So Magic Missile is now released. So since both jammers have been through the penalty box, we cannot have a lead jammer. So this jam will go for the full 2 minutes. Although right now it is a power jam for the Unholy Rollers. Oh, nope. Sequin Destroyer is back on the track. Magic Missile being recycled to the back by Alligator. Sequin Destroyer has made it to the through the pack. She is on her scoring pass, as is Magic Missile. All right, looks like they're getting here. Their skaters are fighting through the pack. We have Magic Missile breaking through. She has picked up 4 points. Sequin Destroyer still being she's been recycled back to the back of the pack, it looks like, by Splatter Alice. No points yet for Sequin Destroyer. It looks like we have 4 points put up by Sequin Destroyer for the quad squad. Splatter Alice has been sent to the penalty box. Looks like Magic Missile has made it through to pick up a Mini of Madison Grand Slam, picking up 5 sweet points for the Unholy Rollers.
Blanche Devereaux of the Unholy Rollers headed to the penalty box. And that jam is called. Unholy Rollers bringing the score up to 91. Quad Squad at 70. And for the Unholy Rollers on the Plan B jammer line, we've got Gertrude Awakening up against Mac the Knife on the Quad Squad.
All right, action beginning. Mac the Knife wasting no time getting to the head of that pack, taking lead jam for the quad squad. Gertrude Awakening looks like she's just made it through the pack herself.
You got to be strong and fast as a jammer on this track up against these teams, and Mac the Knife does so with ease, just finding a way on the inside line, picking up those points and calling the jam off. Quad Squad brings their score up to 74 points. Unholy Rollers at 91.
Still a very close bout with 26:50 left in the half.
Anybody's game still.
Absolutely anybody's. This could flip on a jam. Speaking of jams, we have Booty Collins lined up at the Plan B jammer line, jamming for the quad squad.
She's up against the Manipulator from the Unholy Rollers, jamming for the first time, I think, in this bout for the Unholy Rollers. Booty Collins out of the pack first. She gets lead jam for the quad squad.
As both skaters enter the pack, looks like Booty Collins going to take a little bit of a stumble and call off the jam. Probably a good call there.
She gets caught up by all 4 of the Unholy Rollers there right in the front of the pack, so decides to call that jam off before her or the other jammer gets to score any points.
So our score does remain Unholy Rollers 91, Quad Squad 74.
Whoa, what's going on here? I see the packs lining up on the pivot line. That's right, folks.
Crazy.
Right up where those packs are is called what we used to call the pivot line. And there was a jammer line in the back. But most packs just line up on the jammer line. That pack decided to line up there on the pivot line, giving the jammers a little bit of speed and distance before they hit the pack.
Yep. Speaking of speed, Magic Missile has used hers to get through the pack. However, she is not lead jam.
Magic Missile through the pack first, but it looks like KY Julie for the quad squad is your lead jammer. In order to get lead jammer status, you do have to be through the pack first with all passing of the other blockers being done legally and inbounds. So may have been that Magic Missile just got through there but didn't pass everybody legally. No major impact to get her sent to the penalty box, but she also doesn't get lead jam.
Well.
KY Julie calling that off for the quad squad. And now up on the Plan B jammer line, we've got Girl Friday for the quad squad, skating against Splatter Alice of the Unholy Rollers.
Looks like Girl Friday is going to break through and take lead jam for the quad squad. Heard some quad squad fans be pretty excited about that.
Splatter Alice trying to make her way past Sequin Destroy, her Mac the Knife Alligator, and Rexy. She does make her way in, but is not lead jam. Girl Friday makes it through for 4 points for the quad squad and calls that jam off. Quad squad now at 78 points. Unholy Rollers with 95. Let's hear it for some of our sponsors again. We've got One Barrel Brewing Company. They're located at 2001 Atwood Avenue. Beer that's handmade in small batches with love. One Barrel Brewing Company.
Looks like the action has resumed. We have the Manipulator jamming for the Unholy Rollers with Booty Collins jamming for the quad squad. Booty Collins, who has just taken lead jam.
Booty Collins making her way around the track and through the pack again. She picks up a Minia Madison Grand Slam for the quad squad. The Manipulator still caught in the pack. Battling against Conan the Librarian, Guacamole, Battle Frog in the pack for the quad squad, giving her some trouble there.
That is a formidable defense. And just as the Manipulator manages to get through, Booty Collins calls off the jam.
Calling off the jam with 9 points there for the quad squad, bringing their score up to 87 points. Unholy Rollers at 97. And it looks like they're lining up on that pivot line again. But on the Plan B jammer line, we've got Mac the Knife up again for the quad squad jamming. She'll be going up against Magic Missile of the Unholy Rollers. Both jammers using a lot of their lateral skate movement, going back and forth on the track to try and get through those walls that the blockers are putting up against them. Mac the Knife through. She is your lead jammer for the quad squad. Magic Missile knocked to the inside. She's through her lead pass.
Oh,
Mac the Knife, though, lead jammer, calls that jam off.
Yeah, their quad squad is definitely closing the gap here. It looks like they're up to 91 points to the Unholy Rollers 95.
Bringing that to a 4-point game. Let's hear another shout out here. We got one for the quad squad. Crush those Unholy Rollers. Hear y'all shouting out there for the Unholies, for the quad squad. Let me hear ya. We've got Blanche Devereaux jamming for the quad squad up against Little Susie Homewrecker on the, Little Susie Homewrecker on the quad squad. Blanche Devereaux is on the Unholy Rollers.
Looks like Little Susie Homewrecker has broken through, taking lead jam for this jam.
And Blanche Devereaux sent to the penalty box on her lead pass through. So Lil Susie Homewrecker will have a power jam here. She gets knocked to the outside. Not taking any chances. She goes all the way around to the back, fighting her way past those Unholy Roller blockers up in the front. And she gets through for a Minia Madison Grand Slam and another 5 points for the quad squad. Looks like that leaves us with a lead change. Lead change. Quad Squad takes the lead with 96 points. Unholy Rollers at 95. Just a 1-point game here.
And it looks like with that, we have a timeout called. Looks like that was called off by the Unholies. So let's take a moment then to read off a few more shout-outs here. Got one. Blanche is the best. Better than all the rest. Go Blanche.
Blanche, thank you for being a friend. We got one here for Slayhound. Slayhound, you rock. That's a shout out. Mac the Knife, you're the best at this game. From Tear Bear. Shout out goes out to Mac the Knife there.
How far down this are we?
Our lives. Also, to Dolly Pardon Me, we love you. XOXO MRD. Thank you, MRD. I appreciate that. Another shout out and happy birthday to Resdoll's superfan, Douglas, who will be celebrating his 50th birthday on March 10th. We wish you a happy birthday, Douglas.
Both teams are lining up on the Plan B jammer line. Looks like we have Magic Missile jamming for the Unholy Rollers and Girl Friday up for the Quad Squad.
A little bit of action, jammer on jammer there before they attempt to get through the pack. Magic Missile barreling her way through there, and she gets lead jammer status for the Unholy Rollers.
Oh, and it looks like Girl Friday has been sent to the penalty box, so this is now a power jam for the Unholy Rollers.
Magic Missile coming up on her point-scoring pass. Knocked to the outside by Alligator and recycled to the back of the pack. Knocked down again on the inside there by Wendy You Wanna Die. She's through, though, with a Minia Madison Grand Slam and another lead change. Unholy Rollers take the lead now with 100 points. Quad Squad at 96.
Yeah, we are at 19 minutes left in the half.
And
Getting
with
down
that,
to the wire.
it sure is. Magic Missile, another Grand Slam for the Unholy Rollers. We should keep track of how many Minia Madison Grand Slams there are in a game. Quite a few tonight. Quite a few.
Yeah, it kind of comes with a high number of penalties as well.
Yep.
Clear
Those
track.
jammers come to the backs.
Clear sailing.
Quad Squad jammer Girl Friday out of the penalty box through the pack, but she's not your lead jammer. And Magic Missile calls the jam, bringing the Unholy Rollers to 105 points. Quad Squad with 96.
Like to take a quick moment
Back
to give
and forth.
Yeah. We will take a quick moment to give a shout out to one of our sponsors. Like to thank Our Lives Madison, or magazine, celebrating the LGBTQA community and improving readers' quality of life. Our Lives Magazine. Back to the action. Looks like we have Fang Dangled jamming for the Unholy Rollers with Mac the Knife up against her for the Quad Squad.
Mac the Knife gets out of the pack first, but she is called off the track. Called to the penalty box, leaving Fang Dangled as your lead jammer for the Unholy Rollers. And Fang Dangled is also skating a power jam for the Unholy Rollers. Unholy Rollers blockers doing a good job of trying to play man-on-man or woman-on-woman coverage, rather, up against the Quad Squad blockers so Fang Dangled can make her way through to score some points. Quad Squad blockers not giving up, though, trying their best. But Fang Dangled makes it through for another Minia Madison Grand Slam for the Unholy Rollers.
Looks like Mac the Knife has been released from the penalty box. She will now try to make up some of the lost time and lost points while she spent her 30 seconds there. She does break through. However, Fang Dangled calls off the jam before Mac the Knife can begin making her scoring pass. That brings our score to Unholy Rollers 118, Quad Squad 96.
Both Quad Squad and Unholy Rollers have 1 win and 1 loss this season, so they're both teams are really trying to make their statistics go up to 2-1. And for another shout out, we want to wish a happy birthday to Wi-Fi. Love your Res Dolls.
All right, this jam has begun. We have Splatter Alice jamming for the Unholy Rollers against KY Julie on the Quad Squad. Both jammers still working against the opposing blockers through the pack.
A lot of times I see 2 little packs out there. It's a pack of green against the golden red jammer and a pack of golden red up against that green jammer. Simultaneous offense and defense going on out there on that track.
KY Julie will make it past Molotov to take lead jam here.
Quad Squad has the lead jammer status with KY Julie coming back through the pack, scoring some points and calling it off before Splatter Alice has a chance to score. Quad Squad points going up to 99, Unholy Rollers at 118. Let's hear it for these teams. Who's here cheering the Quad Squad? And the Unholy Rollers. Yeah, let them hear ya. And lining up on the Plan B jammer line, we've got Susie Homewrecker for the Quad Squad up against Gertrude Awakening for the Unholy Rollers. Both these skaters were Vaudeville Vixens last year, you might have remembered. I skated with them on my team. Now we got Susie Homewrecker skating for the Quad Squad, Gertrude Awakening skating for the Unholies.
Looks like Gertrude Awakening has been got a track cut penalty, I believe. So she is now in the penalty box, making this a power jam for Susie Homewrecker and the Quad Squad. Just the sort of thing they need to be able to close this 19-point gap.
Unholy Rollers recycling Susie back to the back of the pack. I'm sorry, Rexy. Susie Homewrecker likes to be called Rexy for short. She's fighting her way past those blockers, Unholy Rollers blockers out there. Micro Muller, Blanche Devereaux, and Bada Boombox. Trying to keep her from scoring more points. Gertrude Awakening out of the Monkey Bar Gym penalty box, back on the track. And she snakes her way around Battle Frog, getting through, but she's not lead jammer. Meanwhile, Susie Homewrecker on a point-scoring pass with a few more points for the Quad Squad. Quad Squad, we've got at 107. Unholy Rollers at 118.
All right, it looks like with that last penalty that she just picked up, Blanche Devereaux has fouled out of the game. So she will be taking a seat.
And just to clarify, fouled out means getting 7 penalties in a bout. Being expelled means you did something really bad and you're out of the bout right away. But Blanche just picked up 7 major penalties, and so she will have fouled out of the game, no longer being able to play for the Unholies.
Looks like Magic Missile almost had lead jam there, but took a little bit of a tumble as she was coming out of the pack, so she didn't get the lead jam. So now it's gone to Mac the Knife and the Quad Squad.
Mac sneaks through there, getting lead jam. She laps around that pack and picks up a grand slam for the Quad Squad with 5 points, while Magic Missile is still being held up in the pack.
Wow. Mac the Knife just swung in through the inside, picking up another Mini of Madison grand slam, and at the same time, Magic Missile has picked up a track cut penalty, so it is now a power jam for the Quad Squad.
Just what the Quad Squad need to bring their points above the Unholy Rollers, and it looks like Mac the Knife did just that with her last Mini of Madison grand slam. Quad Squad changing the lead status. Now they have the lead. Unholy Rollers trying to keep Mac the Knife back. She just jumped over the apex, scoring another grand slam.
The jam finally does get called off, but not before another 5 points from a grand slam are put up on the board for the Quad Squad. That brings our new score. There has been a lead change to 132 Quad Squad, 118 Unholy Rollers.
And both of those jammers in the last jam, Mac the Knife for the Quad Squad and Magic Missile for the Unholy Rollers, are the top scoring jammers in this bout. Mac the Knife picks up 48 points total this game for the Quad Squad. Magic Missile picking up 67 points for the Unholy Rollers. Both teams neck and neck out there. Jamming for the Quad Squad, we've got Girl Friday up against Fang Dangled of the Unholy Rollers.
Looks like Fang Dangled has just snuck through the inside, picking up lead jam for the Unholy Rollers.
Girl Friday makes her way through the pack, but she is called out of the off the track and into the penalty box. Fang Dangled will get a power jam this jam for the Unholy Rollers.
We'll see how these teams can take advantage of this situation or mitigate the damage being caused by this situation. The Unholies definitely, like they are great. They're very happy with a situation like this. They can keep putting those points on the board and make a comeback. The Quad Squad really need to put on their defensive hats here.
Wendy, you want to die trying to get out there and hold Fang Dangled back, but she gets through for another Minia Madison Grand Slam for the Unholy Rollers. Again, making her way around the track while I talk, she gets another Grand Slam for the Unholy Rollers. And we've got another lead change, folks. The whistles signal the end of that jam. Lots of discussion out there between the referees and the teams, wondering what was called, what wasn't called, what might have been missed. And we got a 1-point game. Let's hear it for them, fans.
Now, we do have a timeout called. I believe this one was called by the Quad Squad. So it is entirely possible that that score may change.
Oh, entirely possible. When it's 1 point, it could change at any moment either way.
Well, we are sitting at a 1-point difference with 9 minutes left in this bout. So it's very critical that that each team make sure that they get the points that they actually earned and start playing really carefully and make sure they can secure the win.
That's right. Both teams trying to get as many points as possible to win this bout, trying to keep the opposing jammer back, and both teams doing a good job of anticipating those power jams and really, trying to make the most of it or trying to, not get as many points on that power jam. We've got another shout out here. Goes out, dear Genocide, I love you, from your schmoopy.
All right, so the timeout has ended. Score remains Unholy Rollers 133, Quad Squad 132. 9 minutes left in the half.
Magic Missile starting off the jam. The only jammer on the line. She gets through the pack, and she is your lead jammer for the Unholy Rollers. Jamming for the Quad Squad, we do have Girl Friday. She's in the penalty box, waiting to be released. Magic Missile makes her way around the track. She's on her point-scoring pass, trying to get past some of the Quad Squad blockers. Slayhound, Guacamole, Sequin Destroyer, and Alligator. She makes her way through there for a Minia Madison Grand Slam.
Looks like there has been a star pass. See, Girl Friday has passed the star on to Sequin Destroyer.
That's a WORT star pass. Changing that jammer status, giving it to Sequin Destroyer. She gets 4 points on this scoring pass through. That first pass was just the initial pass through. And the referee's calling a few penalties there at the end of that bout. That jam. The jam ends with Quad Squad at 136. Unholy Rollers at 142. With those whistles, I want to give a few more shout-outs and thank yous to our sponsor. We've got the Shoebox in Black Earth, Wisconsin, one of the largest independent shoe stores in the U.S. Over 100 shoe companies represented, so you're sure to find the perfect shoe. They specialize in service, size, selection, price, and fit. Plan to grab a quick bite at Rookies while you're out there in Black Earth. And visit them on the web at theshoebox.com. Service like it ought to be. Also, Super Duper, one of our sponsors. They offer digital, offset letterpress and hand silk screen printing and specialize in CD and DVD packaging and manufacturing. Thank you to Super Duper. The Wisco's, another one of our sponsors. Willie Street Pub and Grill and Good Times Emporium. Call it what you like. It's the Wisco and the birthplace of roller derby in Madison. And it looks like we're getting back to the action. Lining up on that Plan B jammer line, we've got Gertrude Awakening of the Unholy Rollers.
And we have KY Julie up jamming for the Quad Squad. Gertrude Awakening wasting no time trying to get up to that front of the pack, but does get recycled back by Battle Frog.
Battle Frog then getting called out on a penalty. Meanwhile, KY Julie getting through the pack. She's your lead jammer for the Quad Squad.
Little bit of excitement about that taking up lead jam.
And KY Julie up, gets to the pack, calls it off. I'm not sure if she got any points scored that one, but called it off before the Unholy Rollers could get additional points.
I do not think she made any points on that pass. We do have a score of Unholy Rollers 142, Quad Squad 136, with 7 minutes remaining in this bout.
Remember to join us at the after party held at the VFW here, just right down on Lakeside Road. Lakeside Street, that is.
Well, the jam has begun. Looks like we have Booty Collins jamming for the Quad Squad against Fang Dangled for the Unholy Rollers. Fang Dangled, who has taken lead jam.
Booty Collins racing right up behind her. Not lead jam, but both jammers now approaching the pack on their point-scoring pass for their team. Fang Dangled through the pack. She looks back. She sees Booty Collins still stuck in the pack and calls that jam off. 4 points for the Unholy Rollers, 3 points for the Quad Squad. A few more shout-outs to our sponsors that we haven't yet mentioned tonight. Ultimate Arts, the area's finest custom studio. They specialize in doing as much original work as possible for their clients. Thank you to Ultimate Arts. Thank you also to Tex Tubbs. Tex Tubbs Taco Palace, a casual and fun atmosphere where you can choose from an assortment of delicious chef-created tacos and thirst-quenching margaritas. Tex Tubbs on Atwood Avenue, where they have never served jackalope and they never will.
And that's a promise.
We also want to thank Verona Wine Cellar. It's an award-winning liquid asset liberator less than 10 miles southwest from here. Specialty beer and wine with smatterings of other good beverages. Cheers, Verona Wine Cellar. And it looks like that official Triple M 2-minute promise time out is ending.
Yep. We have Sequin Destroyer lining up on the jammer line for Quad Squad with Magic Missile up for the Unholy Rollers.
And they take off on that Plan B jammer line. Sequin Destroyer, lead jammer for the Quad Squad. Magic Missile close behind.
Magic Missile getting through the pack first. She has overtaken Sequin Destroyer.
Both jammers scoring 4 points. Sequin Destroyer calls off the jam. Nice getting through there by Magic Missile of the Unholy Rollers. Before she can get around the pack again, she causes Sequin Destroy Her to call that jam off.
All right, looks like we are taking another official timeout, the Triple M 2-minute promise official timeout. Of course, when the game is this close and we're right at the end, we want to make sure that everything is in order. As we were saying, all points awarded appropriately, all penalties awarded appropriately.
Both teams' captains or alternates out there talking with the referees to make sure they know what's going on. And all the fans out there, let's hear it for these teams who are cheering on. Let's go Quad Squad. Let's go Unholy Rollers. We've got a 7-point game here, 143 for the Quad Squad, 150 for the Unholy Rollers. And it looks like Quad Squad is requesting an official review. So they will review something from the previous jam that the Quad Squad has brought up. We'll bring you back with more of that after a few more shout-outs to our sponsors. We'd like to thank Vintage Brewing Company for being a sponsor. Vintage Brewing Company, a family-owned and operated brew pub in beautiful Madison, Wisconsin, featuring elevated Americana cuisine and an eclectic array of highly acclaimed house-made brews. Stop in for a beer and a bite and enjoy some Midwestern hospitality and our chilled-out retro ambiance. We love what we do and love sharing it with you at the Vintage Brewing Company. Let's also thank Willie Street Co-op, a full-service grocery cooperative specializing in natural, organic, and locally produced foods. And a shout out to Rockabetty's Salon and Spa. Rockabetty's is a spa and salon that offers an array of unique and fun services such as nail parties and mobile wedding hairstyles and makeup services. Yes, they come to you for your special day. Rockabetty's Salon and Spa. Thanks go out again to Hinckley Design and Production. Producing everything from videos and commercials to interviews and sporting events, including this one. Hinckley Design and Production takes your project from start to finish. Check them out online at hinkleyproductions.com. Hinckley Design and Productions. We're AV nerds. Thank you, AV nerds, for giving us some great bout footage. Check out our bout footage online at the website for the Mad Rollin Dolls, madrollindolls.com. Get your tickets for next month's bout before you leave here for $10. And what else, Rich?
Well, we do want to remind everybody to come on down to the after party, which again is down at the Veterans of Foreign Wars Post, 1318. Address being 133 East Lakeside Street. You get free admission with your ticket stub. So please, come on down, have a party with us after the bout. Love to see you down there.
Thank you to Shishi.
The Quad Squad asked for an official review regarding the delay of game penalty. The penalty has been redacted. Thank you.
All right, a redacted penalty.
All right. Thank you again to our head ref, Z-Dork.
He's keeping me in line when I just want to keep talking here on the mic. Got to give some time to the officials for their official.
They don't often get to take the mic. It's important to let them have their time in the sun, too.
It is. Without the officials, we couldn't play this wonderful sport of roller derby. It would just be chaos out there on the track. So all of you here cheering on our officials and our non-skating, are both our skating referees and our non-skating officials, let's hear some cheers. Thank you to the officials. Woohoo! All you Quad Squad fans out there, let me hear ya. All right, and Unholy Rollers. How many of you are out there cheering on the Unholy Rollers? We got a good contingent from both teams out there.
No,
Thank you for supporting us.
This is a strong way to end the bout. Very close game, passionate fans. I love it.
It's great out there. We might have to take a few minutes here for an official timeout, but you definitely want to stick around to see the action to come. We've got a 7-point game, folks. It could go either way. Both of these teams wanting to bring their standings from 1-1 up to 2-1. With a win, both of these teams able to do so in the next 5 minutes of the game. And we're getting back to the action. Lining up on the Plan B jammer line, we've got Susie Homewrecker for the Quad Squad up against Gertrude Awakening from the Unholy Rollers. Former teammates last year, now opposing teammates on the jammer line up against one another. Fighting against the pack on the other team. It looks like Gertrude Awakening makes her way through. She's lead jammer for the Unholy Rollers.
Looks like Susie Homewrecker is being recycled to the back of the pack. Didn't quite catch by who. They were on the other side of the track from us.
Dive Hard, Molly Tov, Tango de Muerte, and Twisted Halo keeping Susie Homewrecker from getting through the pack. It looks like Susie Homewrecker sent to the penalty box, leaving Gertrude Awakening on a power jam for the Unholy Rollers. Gertrude Awakening picking up a Minia Madison Grand Slam and making her way around the track, getting through the pack of blockers with another Minia Madison Grand Slam. Mac the Knife coming in from the penalty box, trying to push the Quad Squad into the way of Gertrude Awakening. She just slips right in through there and scores the Unholy Rollers another Minia Madison Grand Slam with 5 more points.
Looks like there has been a WORT Back Porch Radio Star Pass. Yeah, that is right. Looks like Susie Homewrecker has passed the star on to Mac the Knife. However, I do not believe additional points were scored on that front. The Unholy scored some points there. Looks like the score is now up to Unholy Rollers 170, Quad Squad 143.
Bringing that difference from 7 points on up to more than 7 points.
That would be
in
27
just
points.
one jam. Thank you for the mat.
That was a very impressive jam. That is the power of a power jam.
The power of a power jam, exactly. Lining up for you now on the Unholy Rollers, jamming for them with the star. We've got Fang Dangled up against KY Julie of the Quad Squad. And Fang Dangled is the lead jammer for the Unholy Rollers.
KY Julie has broken out of the pack. We'll see if she can catch up here. Fang is kind of weaving her way through the pack, waking her way up.
As Fang Dangled gets up through the pack and fights against the Quad Squad blockers, those Unholy Rollers try to keep KY Julie in the back of the pack. KY getting through that back wall up against Micro Mauler in the front of the pack, but she gets through as well. Looks like both jammers score 4 points on that pass. Fang Dangled, lead jammer for the Unholy Rollers, up against a wall of green. Wendy, You Wanna Die, and Slayhound trying to get her to the outside or the inside.
Looks like Slayhound ended up picking up a penalty, trying to keep Fang Dangled back.
KY Julie recycled to the back and back of the pack by Splatter Alice. Knocked to the inside again. Meanwhile, Fang Dangled for the Unholy Rollers gets through the pack with another Minia Madison Grand Slam and 5 more points. KY Julie getting 4 points for the Quad Squad as she gets through the pack.
Yep. Fang still going, working her way past Sequin Destroy her. Looks like Sequin picked up I believe that was a forearm penalty. The jam clock has run out.
And it looks like the Unholy Rollers with 187, Quad Squad with 151.
A timeout has been called with 32 seconds left on the clock. This is a very, very close game. And so as a similar to our last bout, we will be going by the jam clock with this last play, not the play clock. So once that 32 seconds runs out, the action will continue until either the jam clock ends or the lead jammer calls off the jam.
This is still anybody's game, even though there's 32 seconds left on that jam clock. If the quad squad manages to get a lead jammer status here, then they may be able to outscore the Unholy Rollers and keep things going until they decide to call off the jam. If the Unholy Rollers get lead jam status, they may call off the jam before the quad squad can score any more points. And it looks like on the line, the Plan B jammer line, we've got Mac the Knife jamming for the quad squad up against Magic Missile. Again, former teammates when Mac the Knife was on the Unholy Rollers. Now she'll be jamming against Magic Missile, her former teammate. Both jammers fighting their way through, and it looks like Magic Missile makes her way through. She is lead jam for the Unholy Rollers. Mac the Knife getting through the pack. Not lead jam, but still skating her heart out, trying to get as many points for the quad squad as she can.
Yeah, even if things end out here, like if the Unholies take the victory, every single point made will still count in our league standings. So every point made is important.
Every point counts, and it looks like Magic Missile has called off the jam. She gives a big hug to Mac the Knife. Great game played by both of these teams. Let's support our teams out there. Thank you all for coming. Let's hear it for the Unholy Rollers. Winning that game, that bout 191 to the quad squad 158. So again, thanks go out to our sponsors, especially the Jammerline sponsor, Plan B, Penalty Box sponsor, Monkey Bar Gym, the official timeout sponsor, Triple M, Star Pass sponsor, WORT, and our Grand Slam sponsor, Minia Madison. We want to thank Blaze Women's Football for being here, Hinckley Design and Production for always keeping us rolling on film, and to all of our sponsors, to you, our fans, and to our bout charity. Thank you for being a part of this evening's action.
Yes, thank you very much. Looks like our unofficial final score is Unholy Rollers 191, Quad Squad 158. A great game full of fast-paced action all the way from start to finish.
On your way out, be sure to check out the fan zone where you can meet your favorite Quad Squad or Unholy Roller skater. And thank you again for coming out to see the Mad Rollin' Dolls. We hope you can join us at our next bout on March 21st, another Saturday, same day as today, just the next month in the year, here at the Alliant Energy Coliseum. I'm sorry, not Coliseum, Alliant Energy Exhibition Halls.
And we would also like to invite you to our after party down at the VFW Post 1318, again, just down the street at 133 East Lakeslide Street. Your ticket stub gets you in for free. We would love for you to come and party it up with us.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for supporting Mad Rollin' Dolls and Roller Derby in your